What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Enigmatica 2 Expert. Oh yeah, guys. So last episode, we were doing stuff with our blood magic altar over here. We made a bunch of these different runes. We were able to get ourselves to a tier 4 blood altar. And since last episode, I've been working on a tranquility area down below. Yeah, we were able to expand this out now since we have made 2 new blood orbs since then. We're up to, I think, the master tier. So yeah, that allowed us to make the stone brick, the worn stone brick path. And then also we have, well, I guess we can't do the other one. We have one more tier that we can do, and that would be the obsidian path, which would go right here. But yeah, we just expanded it out, just 2 more block space areas. So yeah, we got a lot more stuff. I did grab some life essence out of our altar. You can pump out of the altar using like the ender conduit. So I did that, pumped some life essence out, grabbed a bucket, and just placed it down here like we have our lava and our water, which also increases the amount of tranquility we have in this area, I guess. I think we're pretty much capped out at this point, but you can do things like nether wart, nether rack. If you set the nether rack on fire, that adds to it. Having things like carrots, wheat, beetroot, potatoes, that all adds to it. Having grass. I'm not sure if the tall grass or the grass blocks on the wiki when I was reading. It just says grass. I'm not sure if the flowers add to the tranquility or the tall grass, but I kind of was just adding some variety here. So yeah, if we look at our altar now, we can see that we have 3,510 for the amount of tranquility around. And that brings us up to plus 200 for the boost. Yeah, I think before we're at plus 60, so we're over 3 times stronger now for the self-sacrifice boost. So yeah, we are now able to fill up our blood altar all the way with just 1 click, just by adjusting our tranquility stuff down below. Last episode we left off by needing to get a whole bunch of the blink runes here. Let's go and finish that up. Blink rune. We wanted to make, I don't remember how many. I think I made enough of the things though for that. So 56, does that sound right? I think that sounds right. And then we also are going to want to grab our exchanger here. Ooh, quest complete. That looks like the right amount. So I'm going to do a shift right click on this. I'm going to bring that up to the 9x9, and then we can swap these guys all out. This should get us to the highest tier blood altar, I do believe. In previous versions of blood magic, I think you could go 1 tier higher than this, and that required the ritual of the damned, I think, where you had to make the crystal blocks. I don't think that's a thing anymore. I think this is the highest level blood altar. I could be wrong. But anyway, if we take a look at this, we are now at a tier 5. Yes, so we can do the highest tier crafting, which is awesome. We can also swap out these runes and make, you know, the different types like self-sacrifice or augment capacity or the acceleration runes or any of these other ones. So as we need things like that, we'll definitely look at upgrading them. Now, one thing I was kind of looking at, we made those different tier orbs. So if we look at blood orb, we made all the way up to the master blood orb. The next tier requires us to get the Gaia spirit. So we're kind of stuck at this point. We can't really progress further until we get to the Gaia boss fight in Britannia. It's going to take us a minute before we get there. So that's kind of the end of the line for us at this point. The other thing I wanted to take a look at was the Tartaric gems. So we can get all the way up to the greater and grand. We haven't done these yet, and we do have quests. So the greater one does require us to have Demon Will Crystal. So Demon Will Crystal and Weak Blood Shard, we got these last episode. Demonic Slate, yeah, the Demon Will Crystal. So these guys, you need a Demon Crystallizer, if I remember correctly. Yeah, this thing, a Demon Crystallizer. So that's a Hellfire Forge, stone, glass, lapis. You need 500 will minimum in one of your Tartaric gems, and it takes 100 of it in order to craft this thing. So a common gem is all you need for that, which we currently have. So let's go ahead and bust this out real quick. So yeah, we have 896 in there. Should use 100 of that to get ourselves a Demon Crystallizer. Awesome. So this guy, let's take a look at the chunks here. if I remember correctly, it's been a while since I really did a lot of blood magic. If I remember correctly, the Demon Crystallizer gathers like the Demon Will aura that's per chunk, and you gain Demon Will aura by killing monsters in that chunk. Or I believe there is a, let's see, Demon Crucible. What's this thing? A Demon Crucible. I think this is what it is. So you can make one of these, and then you can put your gem, like your Tartaric gems in there. It'll start draining the will out of the gem and adding it to the chunk, which will help form a crystal. I think that's how that works. Let's go ahead and make one of these. So we need a diamond, stone, cauldron, and lapis. So diamond, stone, cauldron, and lapis. Stone, lapis, then a cauldron. I don't remember what the recipe is for that. That is iron plates. Do we have that? We do have that on auto craft. Cool. We'll just go ahead and craft one of those up. Looks like we are using aluminum for that. So we threw all those in there. It should go ahead and craft this guy up. Again, another 100 gets used, and here is this one. Sweet. So now, if I remember correctly, 696.93, we put this into here. That should start drawing the will out of the guy and then putting it into this chunk, which should allow a crystal to be formed. So let's right-click this. It's definitely... Oh, it took 100 out of the will out of there. Okay. Maybe it has an internal storage of 100. I'm not sure. That was an exact number there. Okay, so now it's just pretty much a waiting game. As soon as a crystal gets formed, I think then it takes more will from the Tartaric gem, and then it allows it to grow, if I remember right. Like I said, it's been a while since I've really done this, but I'm pretty sure this is what you do. Yeah, and eventually we'll just see a crystal form on top of this, but it is not very fast when that happens. Okay, so probably at this point, we should be able to move on from just completing quests and blood magic. We already got pretty much the top end for the altar. Oh yeah, check it out. Here's the crystal. Sweet. So did that just use another 100 on this? It did. Okay. So another thing I wanted to see. Ooh, what's this doing? Oh, yeah. Okay. So you can put the Tartaric gem here, and I'll take the will that's in the chunk and feed it back in there. I forgot about that. So we can put that back here. Now, another thing I want to see, can we cheese this? Is this a thing that we can do? If I put a cardboard box in here, break this, and then place this guy like right here. Aha, so you can kind of cheese it a little bit. So normally you need a Demon Crystallizer for each one of these crystals. But if you cheese it like I just did, this crystal will still continue to grow. And then we can get another one to grow over here. Yeah, so that's pretty awesome. So we can save ourselves from making a whole bunch of these Demon Crystallizers. Pretty much you have to wait for this thing to get to the last stage, the final growth stage, when you break it, and then you get the Demon Will crystal cluster thingies that we're looking for. So yeah, we're not quite done yet. It's still got some more growth stages to go through. Okay, so anyway, we were originally trying to get to this Iridescent Altar when we started into this blood magic thing, right? So in order to do this, we needed this draft of Angelus, or however you pronounce this, I don't know. This guy right here. We didn't have weak blood shards, we do now, and we have the correct orbs to be able to do this, but we need a couple more things. So we need neurotoxin and we need antiseptic. So antiseptic requires plant oil. Plant oil, we can just get bone meal to wheat. Okay, that looks fine. Bone meal, do that, and 2 wheat. Okay, I don't have an orb in there. We need to grab one of our orbs. Doesn't matter which one. How about a magician orb? I'll place that right into here. I don't know what this slot is. This might be a little bit more complicated than I was thinking. So that, and this. Well, it looks like something's happening. So maybe it's not as complicated as I think it possibly could be. So there we go. There's a plant oil. Very good. So we can get rid of this one. So now we need antiseptic. So that's a plant oil. Let's just put that right in there. So gold, wheat, mushroom, sugar. Gold, wheat. Do we have both mushrooms? Hopefully. Mushrooms. Oh, we do. We don't have a lot of the brown ones. And then sugar. All right. Not a lot of all of these things. All right, so that is going, and it is going slower. I think maybe like the more complicated the recipe is, the slower it goes, or maybe the more items. I'm not sure. Okay, so there is 2 antiseptics. So we have that. So neurotoxin, we do need a puffer fish, which we don't have. Is there a way for us to get puffer fish very easily? It looks like we can do an alchemy catalyst on the mana pool, and we can go between them. I think that's probably going to be our best way. Did we ever make an alchemy catalyst? That is another question that I have. I don't think we have anything under there. Okay, so let's take a look. Alchemy catalyst. If I wanted to craft one of those things, so 2 brewing stands, a mana pearl, some living rock, gold. That doesn't seem like it's that big of a deal. So let's go ahead and craft one of those up. We need a mana pearl. That is simple enough for us to do. Just drop one of those into our mana pool. Awesome. And this mana pool did fill all the way up. I made half a stack of the mana ingots. Is that what it's called? Mana ingots? This. Mana steel ingots. I made half a stack of that, so that's how much we've lost there, plus this 1 pearl now. So we need to get that filled all the way back up here in a little bit. So anyway, let's go ahead and dig down. I don't want to ruin the flower that's currently there, so I'm just going to do it like this. So we need to go over just 2 blocks. So that's our mana pool. We can place this guy underneath it. Yeah, we can definitely see there is a change there. So now if we grab some fish, we should be able to... Oh man, is this a fish right here? Yeah, we should be able to swap between all of these. Clownfish and then into a puffer fish. Awesome. Okay, so we can do that. There's our puffer. And then that's all we had to do for this particular guy. So let's go ahead and put that in here. Just 1 puffer fish like that should make our neurotoxin. Awesome. And then we just need all of this other stuff. So pulverized gold, gas tier. We have that on autocraft. I think we have plenty of gas tiers. Weak blood shard fermented. I'm not sure if we have a fermented, probably not. So how do you make a fermented spider eye? Sugar, brown, mushroom, and spider eye, obviously. So antiseptic, yeah, we should have everything now. So let's go ahead and throw these things all in here. Is that not right? Oh, we probably need another tier orb, huh? So maybe a master. I was like, I'm pretty sure we have all the ingredients in there. Yeah, I think we're just missing the wrong tier or the right tier orb. It's still not going. So is that dependent on how much LP we have in our network? Seems like we have a lot in there. Are we missing something else here? It says it drains 20,000 LP over 400 ticks. And how much do we have in here? Aha, that is the problem. It is draining LP. So I need to grab our master blood orb. And I will throw it into here. That should be draining all of that out of there. And we can make this go faster with the time in a bottle. Oh, yeah. Let's also fill this back up and just add a little bit extra in there. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so if we do this now, yeah, we have 68,000. Perfect. Now let's put this in here, and that should do the thing. There we go. Okay, guys, so here's our draft of the Angelus. We needed one of those. Yep, so I don't think we need the antiseptic anymore. I'll go ahead and put that away so we don't get those confused. They look similar. So there's that. So the next step is, now that we have this, we need to make this elemental affinity reagent. So in order to make that, we have to make all these different sigils: lava, water, and air. Now they're all very, very similar. We just have to make these different reagents here and then do the alchemy array. All of these are pretty easy. Yeah, so I just went ahead and crafted those. So we need to do 3 of these. So there's 1, 2, 3. I assume you can do these at the same time. I don't know if I've ever done this before. So we need that plus that, this plus this, and this plus that. So we're making all 3 of those at the same time. Wait, what happened here? Something didn't go right. Blank slate plus air reagent. Oh, am I not allowed to do multiple of these at the same time or something? I'm not sure. So we have the water and the lava. Let's take a look at this. The air sigil is supposed to be air reagent plus reinforced. Oh, reinforced slate. Ah, that's the problem. I just made a blank slate. Okay, so back into here, reinforced slate. Whoops. This guy. So that needs to go here. Get rid of this one. We need to put the blank slate back in there and let that process again. Oop, my mistake. I thought they were all the same. I was incorrect. Let's do that. Speed this up a little bit more. There we go. Awesome. And then I'll click my thingy here and fill that all the way back up. Cool. So there's our reinforced slate. So we can do that one more time. The alchemy array, or I'm sorry, these arcane ashes, you can put in the item repairer, so you don't have to keep making those. Anyway, air reagent plus the reinforced slate. There we go. Now it's doing the thing. Cool. So now that we have all three of these different sigils, which they have their own effects or whatever, but I'm not really interested in using blood magic for that purpose. We can put those over into this thing with one piece of obsidian, and that should make our elemental affinity reagent. Awesome. Okay, so now that we have that, I think that's all that we were missing for our iridescent altar. So let's go ahead and come over here and see if we can get this thing crafting. This is all the other pieces that we needed. Oh my goodness, I got so much stuff in my inventory. Magician's blown over this one. Okay, so if we put all this over here, I think we should be able to do this. Look at that. So everything just goes into its place. It knows how to upgrade, and we have the structure all set here. So all we need to do is just grab ourselves our resonating wand and give this a click. And that is the final upgrade for the altar here. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Unfortunately, it still takes a... Oh, okay. Actually, that went a lot quicker than I thought it would. So yeah, that is done. We get this little glowy thing up here. I guess that just means that we have the top tier. Cool. So now if we look at this, yeah, we're completely full, I think, or is that 1 pixel off? I'm actually not entirely sure. It might be 1 pixel off, but we aren't at complete midnight right now, and there is ways to increase the altar a little bit more if we need it. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure if that is 1 pixel off or if that's just the way that looks. I don't know. Anyway, so yes, that's really, really awesome. We have the iridescent altar and everything is working great. We no longer need this chest here, so we can get rid of this thing. And did we have a quest for the iridescent altar to have that, like to pick it up? Let's go back to our astral sorcery section. No, they're actually, oh yeah, right here, iridescent altar. So we need to break it and replace it. So there it is. Quest complete. We'll place it back there. Everything looks good once again. And we can claim that guy. So ritual pedestal is a thing, and the Phosic resonator is one more thing that we have yet to claim here. Futura blocks, all right. Put those away. All right, cool. Okay, so I've never seen that happen before. That's interesting. What just happened here? So we got some aquamarines, I guess, and that's it. Yeah, I looked up and I saw there was one of those shooting stars, and I've seen those before, but I've never really paid attention to it, so I started just kind of like following it. And apparently that explodes into stuff. Okay, you gotta give us some aquamarines. I thought it'd give us something like interesting, but I guess not. One of the things that I wanted to craft for astral sorcery that we are now able to craft is this Containment Chalice. Yeah, this goes hand in hand with our Starlight Infuser. So instead of every time we craft something, we have a chance of one of these source blocks disappearing, it'll just pull Starlight from our Containment Chalice. Yep, that's what we're looking at doing. So all the Starlight is in here, so we are 100% full, but we have to craft this thing. So in order to craft it, we need the iridescent altar, we need 4 gold, 2 star metal, the sooty marble, 2 resonating gems. So we have all that, and then you can see that there's 5 aquamarine around the outside, not in the crafting grid. Yeah, so that's where things get a little bit different here. So let me go ahead and do a shift click here. So it puts everything into this thing, but then we need 5 additional spectral relays. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And each one of those needs an aquamarine. Grab 5 of those. Cool. So now we should be good to go to craft this recipe, I do believe. Go ahead and give it a try. So it looks like things are crafting. Yeah, you can see this has got blue particles around it because it's using this one, then that one. So it needs 5 of these spectral relays with those items on it to complete the craft. Just takes a little bit longer because of them, it looks like. And then finally should find this one. Okay, there we go. Containment Chalice. Awesome. So what I want to do is I want to give myself a conduit, one of these guys, the underfluid conduits. And we're just going to stick it here in the corner. I'm going to place a containment chalice on top. Does have to, if you're going to pipe in fluid, it has to be from the bottom if I remember correctly. So that's going to be insert only. And then we're going to grab this guy over here, our portable tank that has nearly 1,000 buckets of starlight in here. We're going to grab that and we're going to put that right here. Yep, and we are going to extract. And always active. So that should fill this thing up. The thing on top gets bigger, showing that it's got more stuff in there. Yeah, and now whenever we do any crafting on this thing, so like if we want to do these glass panes, for instance, that should auto craft because of the automated user. You can see it is now pulling the starlight from this thing, and these source blocks are never going to disappear. Yeah, that's going to be pretty nice. They'll definitely save us a lot of time. Yeah, I like doing it this way. It's really cool. All right, guys. So one of the last things that we need to do in the Astral Sorcery section of our quest book here is to make this ritual pedestal. We saw this Phosic resonator. That doesn't really matter. We're going to complete it. But the ritual pedestal can allow us to do some cool stuff. One of the rituals that we're going to be doing is one that will speed up all machines or different processes in the area of effect. I think it only affects blocks, so maybe not like in-world crafting like what we're doing here. But yeah, I just got done taking one of the celestial crystals. Yep, and we just made it the best it can be. It had purity 100%, but I had to get the cutting up and let the size increase. I decided to put an observer here. This might be one of the first times I've used an observer that comes in the vanilla Minecraft game. Yeah, so observer to detect when the starlight fluid goes away and gets replaced. So you heard it do a double beat there. And then that goes into a note block. So I could just have an audible tone instead of having to stare at this thing and be like, did it use the fluid? Did it upgrade? And then having to keep checking it. Yeah, this way I know for sure when something happens. But anyway, so we have ourselves a pure 100% celestial crystal ready to go. And it just so happens, hey, look, another one of those things. It just so happens that we have the correct constellation in the sky for what I want to attune it. Yeah. So I've been using our imperfect ritual stone up here to keep the night the same. I slept through, I think, about 5 days before we were able to get to this thing. But anyway, we have the night where we want it. The ritual should be active over here. Or maybe it takes it a few seconds. Here it goes. Yeah, now it's ready to happen here. So we gotta throw this on here and attune the crystal. There it goes. Yeah. So once that gets attuned, we can put that on our ritual pedestal. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool. Anyway, so ritual pedestal. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. Ritual pedestal. To craft this thing, we need to get ourselves some kind of a crystal, liquid starlight, some various other things, 3 rune marble. Do we have stuff? We have this, we have that. I don't know. I'm just going to put all this marble in my inventory. Hopefully we'll have everything we need. And then we need 2 gold. 2 gold. And a bucket of liquid starlight. This one. There it is. Okay. So this is what we're going to use for the ritual. We're not actually going to put that into the crafting recipe itself. So now that we have that, we should be able to come over to the altar. Oh, no. I need to get the bucket of liquid starlight. So let's grab that. I did move this thing back over here so we could, upgrade that crystal. I will have to move it back to our Containment Chalice, but it's got lots of fluid in there. It should be able to go for a while without having to be replenished. But anyway, let's go ahead and see if we can do this. Oh, I also need to get myself a different crystal, don't I? So we can just use any old garbage crystal. It doesn't have to be anything special. All right, so we come over here and we tell it to make this with the garbage crystal. Yep, our good one's right here that's been attuned. Awesome. So now we should just be able to do that. Okay, so that'll make our ritual pedestal. That will complete a quest for us. And then over here, I did set up the multi-block structure that is required for the ritual pedestal. Now, again, it has been a minute since I last used this thing. Let's go back and just take a look at this. So the ritual pedestal is here. And then we have a ritual acceleration, which I did not do. So let's go back to the ritual pedestal. So a tuned crystal can manifest the power of a constellation as manifesting receive starlight power. So it just shows this. Now the acceleration, while the ritual pedestal accomplishes the goal of channeling constellation energies, it's slow and needs the view of the sky to collect starlight power, which is clunky. Since it appears it's only the starlight the constellation involved that's needed, feeding starlight from that same constellation via the network lenses should boost the performance of the ritual. Okay, so while a limited number of such beams of crystals can continue to receive additional starlight energy, so I think what essentially we need to do is take one of these celestial crystals that are attuned to that same ritual and beam it over here. I think we can steal some of the light. I think that's what we need to do. So I don't remember how this works. Do I just right click this crystal on there? That looks like what we just needed to do. Okay. Now I also seem to recall that we can move that around somewhere. This will speed up things in the nearby area, but we don't necessarily want to speed up anything right here, right? Yeah, so we'll have to figure that out. Now another thing, I remember seeing some kind of a starlight splitter. So maybe we can split some light off this and go over here and some light off that one and come over here. I'll have to go through the book again to see if I can find that, but I seem to recall there was some way that we can split the light beams. All right, guys, well, I haven't tried this before, but we're going to try making one of these prism lenses. Apparently, this works just like the regular lens, except it will allow you to link that lens to multiple targets. I'm still trying to keep it on the same night. Oh yeah, that's right there. I was looking for the constellation. I'm still trying to keep it on the same night. I did attune. Oh, I did try doing this recipe once to make sure it works just like the crystal lens. Like I used one of our junk rock crystals here, and it keeps those traits over. So I did an attuned celestial crystal that is all tuned to the correct constellation. I don't know if that matters, but yeah, it's size 900, purity 100, cutting 100. So this should, if it's like the lenses, it should give us more than one, and then they should have all these stats on them. So that's what I'm kind of curious to see, since I've never done this before. So we're going to try this. Hopefully it doesn't take a long time for this craft to happen here. But yeah, I would be kind of curious to see how this works, and if it is effective to kind of like split one of these from this over to here and to the altar as well. So what do we get? Oh, it only gives us one. Okay, so you don't get multiple, and it keeps the traits but doesn't keep the attunement. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. So what I'd like to do is replace one of these lenses, or can you go from the prism to one of these lenses? Maybe if I stick this thing right here, we can do something interesting. I'm not really sure how this all works. Okay, so let's try the linking tool. We're going to unlink this. Okay, swap off it. We're going to select this, and we're going to go to here. Okay, so we're going to stop linking. We're going to select this, and then go to here. So that should connect up like it always was. So yeah, the beam goes through the lens, goes to here, goes down. Now can we take this, since we already have that selected, and click it onto here? Does that work? It looks like that's working. Okay, so the ritual definitely did something. It is getting some starlight, but I don't know if that's getting enough. It says that it splits the starlight evenly between the different connections. So I guess we're only getting half strength down here. So maybe it would be worth for me to craft another one of these up and then have it come over here so we can get like a full strength of one of these crystals. So it is nighttime and we still have full power here, even though one of these is not connected. I don't know how it works during the daytime, but yeah, I would be curious to see how that all works. Anyway, there's a thing called a ritual anchor, and I'm not exactly sure. Oh, it's right here. Ritual anchor. Yeah. So the ritual anchor, you can place that a certain distance away. I think it has to be like 5 blocks. Place 5 blocks above the ritual pedestal, and then linking the anchor to a matching anchor. So you link the one that's above the ritual to wherever you're putting the other one, and then you can direct that the speed increase, or I guess the ritual effect, to wherever the other one is. The zombie's coming over here. Okay, so anyway, so we need 2 glass lenses. We should have those 2 glass lenses. What a ritual anchor? Search this way. So 2 glass lenses. We need a resonating gem, aquamarine. 2 aquamarines. One of those needs to be a resonating gem. So let's come over here and resonate one of those, like so. And done. Cool. So that's done. We also need 4 gold nuggets and 1 gold ingot. Whoops. For those, one of these, and one. Oh, it's a stardust. Okay, my mistake. Thought that was an aquamarine, stardust, and then 4 glass panes, I think. Okay, so there we go. Now we should have everything to craft this up. So it has to be 5 blocks above the pedestal, right? I think it'll... you should know for sure if you've done it right or not. So let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's just our placeholder. Then that'll be the 5th block up right there. All right, so let's grab this guy. And we will place that right here. We'll get rid of all this dirt. Now we just need to see... I mean, that looks like that's in the right spot because it's at the top of the beam. I'm not sure if it's going to show us anything different. Now, the only other thing we can do is take this ritual anchor and go place it somewhere else. Yeah, we'll go place it over here. Okay, so let's just put it right here. We are going to take our linking tool. We're going to link from this guy. And we will connect it over to this one and see if we get sparklies on our machines. And if so, we have done things correctly. You know, I felt like there wasn't something quite right there. It didn't seem like it was affecting things the way it should be. So what's going on here is, now that we have the ritual anchor here, we have this glowy beam that just kind of like ends right here, yeah? So what we need to do, let's grab some more placey blocks like dirt. Is that right above the torch? I can't, why can I not place that block there? Oh, I'm trying to place it in myself. Okay, so we place that there and we have to grab a lens. Yeah, I think we have to do this 5 or 6 times. I can't remember exactly what it is. So the lens, so this colored beam goes into this lens, then we need to bounce that right back into the ritual, and that's what we were missing. So now I need to do, I think you just click here and onto here, and that's all you have to do. Yeah, so we did that right. We get another colored lens over here. So let's go ahead and try and get that one situated. So we do that, we select, and we go right back into the ritual. All right, guys. Well, I have the lenses bouncing the starlight back into the ritual. Looks like the ritual is running just fine. Yep. And then I also made these prism lenses over here. So we are taking the starlight from our collector crystal. It's coming up here like it was going into these lenses, but going to the prism ones. So this is splitting the light down into the altar like it was, and also taking that light and beaming it back over here to give our ritual pedestal a little bit more oomph. Yeah, so that's what we got going on right now. I think that is working rather well. Although when I've done this in the past, it seems like I was able to get this to work perfectly and it had that glow at daytime. Right now, when I try to do this during the daytime, pretty much all that glow goes away, and you can kind of see a faint symbol from the constellation. So I don't know, maybe bouncing one of these collector crystals through a prism kind of gets rid of the specific attuned crystal or attuned constellation. I'm actually not entirely sure how that works, but unfortunately, the way this ritual pedestal, the lights are bouncing off it, is right in the way of both of our collector crystals to go directly to the ritual pedestal. So I don't know, maybe I could move it up in the air a little bit and then try and get this to go directly into it. Maybe that would work. I'm honestly not sure, but either way, this does work. Now, if we come over to our machines over here, we can kind of get a good look on what's going on. When that ritual is properly activated, we see there is glowy particles all over a lot of these machines. Now, if we were to take something like cobblestone and throw that into our furnace, we should be able to see that that's going a lot quicker than it should be going without the ritual active. So that's really cool. That'll help speed up these machines, or if we have some slow process that needs to be sped up, we can move that to a different location. I like it. But anyway, guys, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here for today. Yeah, we've done a lot of stuff with the magic mods recently. I'm not sure if we're completely done with them just yet, but yeah, we're in a good place. We're kind of in the late game of Astral Sorcery. We did a lot of the late game blood magic stuff. We still got a Thaumcraft to do, I'm sure, in order to like actually do the end game of the whole mod pack, but we'll see what we can do. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like on the episode if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.